the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair. She broke your throat and she cut your hair. And from your lips she drew the hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. You know, I used to live alone before I knew you. And I've seen your flag on the marble arch. And love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair. She broke your throat and she cut your hair. And from your lips she drew the hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. You know, I used to live alone before I knew you. And I've seen your flag on the marble arch. And love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah, 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 Well, there was a time when you let me know what's really going on below. But now you never show that to me, do you? remember when I moved in you, and the holy dove was moving too, and every breath we drew was hallelujah. Maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who I drew, yeah. It's not a cry that you hear at night, it's not somebody who's seen the light, it's a call and it's a broken hallelujah.
I went to a party, Mom, and I remembered what you said. You told me not to drink, Mom, so I drank soda instead. I really felt proud inside, Mom, the way you said I would. I didn't drink and drive, Mom, even though the others said I should. I know I did the right thing, Mom. I know you're always right. Now the party is finally ending, Mom, as everyone drives out of sight. As I got into my car, Mom, I know I'd get home in one piece. Because of the way you raised me, Mom, so responsible and sweet. I started to drive away, Mom, but as I pulled onto the road, the other car didn't see me, Mom, and it hit me like a load. As I lie here on the pavement, Mom, I hear the policeman say, "The other guy is drunk, Mom, and now I'm the one who'll pay." I'm lying here dying, Mom, and I wish you'd get here soon. How could this happen to me, Mom? My life burst like a balloon. There's blood all around me, Mom, and most of it is mine. And I hear the paramedics say, Mom, I'll be dead in a short time. I just wanted to tell you, Mom, I swear I didn't drink. It was the others, Mom. The others didn't think. He didn't know where he was going, Mom. He was at the same party as I. The only difference is, Mom, he drank. And I'm going to die. So why do people drink, Mom? It can ruin your whole life. I'm feeling sharp pains now, Mom. And the pain's just like a knife. And the guy who hit me is walking, Mom. And I don't think it's fair. I'm lying here dying, Mom. And all he can do is stare. Tell my brother and my sister not to cry, Mom. And tell Dad to be brave. And when I get to heaven, Mom, please write Daddy's girl on my grave. You know, someone should have told him, Mom, not to drink and drive. If only they'd taken the time, Mom. I would still be alive. And my breath is getting shorter, Mom. And I'm getting really scared. Please don't cry for me, Mom, because when I needed you, you were always there. And I have one last question, Mom, before I say goodbye. I didn't ever drink, Mom, so why am I the one to die? And this is the end, Mom. I wish I could look into your eyes to say these final words, Mom. I love you and goodbye.
Oh, what's up, Movie? How you doing, bro?
Hey, Carson.
How's it going? Where you going right now?
I gotta take a test for Mr. Berg in a little bit.
Oh, you got a test next period?
Yeah.
Did you study?
Didn't have time, man.
You didn't have time, man. I got a text next period from Mr. Weber too, but I didn't really study though. I mean, I just kind of want to I just got back from basketball, Sacramento, everything. I just want to blow all this off.
Yeah, you guys
know?
did great, man.
Yeah, it's just I'm tired, man. But hey, you know what? I got some booze in my car. My brother left it. Yeah, it was at a party last night. He left it in his car. So maybe me and you could go to the hill and just have a little fun.
For real, dude, man? I don't think I can. I'm a good student.
Bro, it's just one period of one day of your life. Like it's not gonna affect anything. We're not gonna get caught, and nothing's gonna happen.
Nah, man, I still don't trust it.
Bro, it's your senior year. Like this is the moments you're gonna remember these for the rest of your life. Like it's just one period of one day. Just a little fun, bro.
You for real about this?
Yeah, no one's gonna get caught. It's just me and you.
Alright, you're a good friend, man.
All right, let's
Take
go.
care of me.
Just follow me. You excited for summer, bro?
I'm super excited, man.
Yeah. What about college? You know where you're about to go yet?
Nah, I gotta look into the financial aid packages, but I'm going.
What's your top 3 right now?
I'm looking at trying to get into either Cal Poly SLO, UC Santa Barbara, and hopefully get into Stanford.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
For
I just got offered by Columbia.
For real, dude?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's Ivy League, and I want to play football in college, obviously. So, hopefully after this spring, I'll get a couple more offers.
Dude, is that your phone?
What?
Is that your phone right now? It's ringing. Why is it ringing?
Oh man, it's Mr. Demers.
Dude, you can't answer that.
He's looking for me second period. Bro, I gotta answer. Hello? No. I'm down at the water store. Yeah. I'll come back right now. Okay.
Dude, we can't go.
Dude, we gotta go right now.
We can't go.
Come on, we gotta go.
Go, Carson.
Go. Bro, I'm fine. Bro, I'm fine. It's my car. I'm driving. It's my car.
Carson, what you doing, man? You swerving. You're in the park lane.
I'm fine.
Not good, man. Dude, there's a car right there. Go straight.
Fine.
Stay in your lane. Stay in the... Bro.
I'm fine, bro. We're fine. We're almost there.
Bro, there's a motorcycle right there. What are you doing?
All right.
There's a car coming. What's up?
Bro, he was far away.
No, he wasn't. I saw him almost right in front of us.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, my Uber didn't show up, so I'm walking to school.
Oh, dang, do you want me to take you the rest of the way?
Yes, that'd be awesome, please.
Okay, go ahead, hop in. You're welcome.
Whoa! Whoa, dude! You're going too fast! You're going too fast!
What was that?
God, oh my gosh. What happened?
Mugen.
What happened? What happened? Mugen! You alright?
Now an emergency.
Yes, there was a crash on Highlander Drive at Helix High School.
Okay, how many vehicles are involved?
Two cars.
Are there any injuries?
Yes, definitely injuries. We need paramedics, please.
Okay. I have officers and the medics en route. Can you tell if everybody's okay? Any injuries?
It's not good. There's a guy out on... Oh, Mugen. He's hanging out on the hood.
Okay.
The driver looks shocked. The other car, there's so much blood. It's not good. The
Okay.
windshield shattered.
All right, young man, why don't you come on over here? You and I are gonna have a talk, okay? Carlson, unfortunately, you're above the legal limit. And being of your age, you're not allowed to have any alcohol in your system. I need you to turn around and put your hands behind your back.
I only had 2 beers.
I understand that, but right now you're under arrest for DUI. I need you to put your hands behind your back. The state of California, you are required to submit to taking either a breath test or a blood test. Both tests will result in the same readings. Okay. Let's go on over here. Like I said, you are under arrest for DUI. Go ahead and spread your feet. Can you hear me? Wake up! Wake up! Sir! Sir! I've got no response. Sir! Sir! Are you okay? Tell me your name!
Scott. Morgan. 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 Say something. Morgan. Morgan.
Mercy Ambulance, we're coming to you with two major traumas. I've got a 17 and an 18-year-old that were both in a car accident. The 18-year-old that I have is not able to feel his legs. We'll be en route. We'll be there in about approximately 10 minutes. All right, Dr. Sykes, this is Mr. Scott. He's 18 years old. He was in a head-on collision traveling approximately 45 miles an hour. As far as I can tell, he's unable to move from the waist down. Feels like he's paralyzed from the waist down. He is ANO times 3. Take a deep breath, please. Deep breath. All right. Give me a squeeze. Squeeze my hand. Okay. Give me a squeeze. Can you move your feet?
No.
Can you feel me touch you down here?
No.
Okay. How about up here on the leg?
No.
How about up here? Can you feel me touch it?
No.
How about right there? Up here on your chest?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Does it hurt back here when I push on your back?
Yeah.
All right. All right, let's get him over to CT scan. And are his parents here?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you've injured your back. We're going to get a scan, see what we have to do to help you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Come on in. All right. Your son was in a bad car crash, and he's injured his back. And we don't know exactly whether he's injured his spinal cord, but right now he's paralyzed from the waist down. So you'll be able to be with him now, okay? He's stable otherwise, and neurosurgery is going to evaluate him. All right?
Take you to see him right now, okay?
You can be with him right now, okay?
It's too late to apologize. It's too late. I said it's too late to apologize. It's too late.
So we got an 18-year-old male involved in a head-on collision at approximately 45 miles an hour. He was cut out of the backseat of the vehicle with massive intrusion.
Yeah, I don't have a pulse. See if we have any cardiac activity. There's nothing on the monitor. I don't hear any heart sounds. Yeah, there's no cardiac activity on ultrasound. I'm afraid he's already gone. Time of death?
12:13.
12:13. Hey sir, I'm Dr. Sykes. Hey sir. Your son was in a very bad car accident. I'm sorry to have to tell you he died. I think he died instantly, and I don't think he suffered. By the time he came here, his heart was already stopped. He was already gone. You can be with him for a minute, Trauma Bay. I know he didn't suffer. I think it was a massive head injury.
I loved you with the fire red. Now it's turning blue. And you say sorry like the angel. Heaven let me think was you. But I'm afraid it's too late to apologize. It's too late. I said it's too late to apologize. It's too late.
What happened? I told you I only had 2 beers. That was it. I don't even know what happened after that. I promise.
And blow. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. You're almost there, almost there. Okay, you're done. Hang on, keep in the bed. Hang on, record. Handcuffs while you're here. right, Carson, I have some questions for you. Do you require any emergency medical care?
No.
Are you currently receiving any mental health care?
No.
Do you feel suicidal or want to hurt yourself?
Why would you do something like that?
I wasn't thinking, it was just...
That's just not who you are.
Wait a second, how did somebody die?
It was just, we just went up to the cliffs. We didn't think anything bad was gonna happen. We just thought that we're just, to skip school, have a little fun for one day. I didn't know the consequences were gonna be like that.
And you killed someone.
I know that.
Do you realize your life is over?
Yes, I understand that.
All because you wanted to have a good little time and ditch school? We didn't raise you that way.
It's gonna get bad from here,
I'm so disappointed in you.
There's major consequences to
I
this.
just can't understand why you would do something so stupid.
Everyone, please rise. In the presence of our flag and our country and the emblem of our Constitution, and remembering the principles for which it stands, Department 15 of the East County Superior Court is now in session. The Honorable Robert O. Amador, Judge presiding. Please be seated and come to order.
Good afternoon, everyone. All right. This is a matter of the people of the state of California versus Carson Baker. Please state your appearances.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Deputy District Attorney Joe McLaughlin for the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ann Summers on behalf of Carson Baker.
All right. People, call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. People call Colin Atwood to the stand.
It was around 11:25 or 11:28 in the morning. Yes, we received a call of a possible fatality collision on Highlander Way.
Sir, as to count one, Penal Code Section 191.5C, gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated. Victim Mugen Blue. Do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Some of the next of kin of the deceased, as well as the parents of Mr. Young, who's paralyzed.
It's pretty hard to actually absorb into. My son's pretty much my world. And watching him leave and seeing him in bed, the hospital bed, is something really hard to actually settle in on me.
Our daughter Grace was deceased at the scene of the accident. I wanted to say to those here gathered, to the young man who's responsible, I really have three questions. It's come down to that as I've thought and prayed about this. The first is the question of justice, and I trust, sir, that'll fall under your purview. That a full and maximum sentence might be considered and certainly applied in this case.
This is very hard for me, as Carson is very much part of my family. But yet, there's been a crime committed here because of his decision. There's lives that have been lost. My son, as you know, Scott, he's your friend. He was afforded a scholarship to play football at the University of Arizona. That's gone because of a decision that you made.
First off, I would like to say, start by saying I'm blessed to be here today, it could have been me who lost my life in that car accident. Second of all, my condolences go out to the two families who lost their children today, the Haymans and the Blues. To the Haymans, I've known Grace since I was in 6th grade. She was one of the most genuine, likable, hardworking people I ever known in my whole entire life, and she always kept a big smile on her face. To the Blues, I've known Mugens for the last 7 years. We've grown together on and off the football field. He was a brother to me. I loved him to death. He was a hard worker, and he had a bright future just as well as Grace. To the Bakers, you guys are like a second family to me. You took me in. You allowed me to come over to your house, spend time with Carson, spend time with you. You guys are great parents. I'm sorry for this horrific thing that happened today, but Carson has to pay for it. And to Carson, you're like a brother to me. I love you to death, but I can never forgive you for this. You took my life away from me. You took my legs. You took my football away from me. I can never walk on the field again. I can never work out again. I can never do things I want to do again. So I can never forgive you for that.
We want to apologize to all the families that were affected so horribly. And, Your Honor, we just want you to know, this is a good kid. He really is a good kid. He just made a horrible decision. That's all.
First, I'd like to say that I'm deeply sorry to all the families that I've affected with this dumb mistake. I know nothing that I can say to any of you will repay what I've done, but I hope one day in your heart you will be willing to forgive me. Throughout this whole situation, it's all been bad, and I'm hoping something good can come out of it. So maybe to the people, let this be an example to all of you that, one mistake can change your life.
For Mugen Blue, the court sentences you to 10 years in state prison. And for Grace Hayman, the court also sentences you to 10 years in state prison. And that's consecutive. 20 years in state prison. And I want you to think every single day of the funeral that you did not attend, but you caused. And as to Mr. Young and being paralyzed, the court imposes additional 3-year state prison, 23 years in state prison. Get him out of here.
Every day in America, another 28 people die as a result of drunk driving. On average, someone is injured or killed in an alcohol-related incident every 15 minutes. Yesterday, 20 of your fellow Helix High School students were killed in alcohol-related incidents, and 2 more of them had their lives changed forever. On average, someone is injured or killed in an alcohol-related incident every 15 minutes. From the La Mesa Police Department, School Resource Officer Scott Wolfing.
As law enforcement, we take drinking and driving very seriously, and unfortunately, we have to deal with it on a daily basis. Also, as law enforcement, we receive radio calls of traffic collisions where people are seriously injured, ejected in a head-on collision, or have been struck by a vehicle as a pedestrian. One reason we get these calls are all too often because someone made a poor decision to get behind the wheel of his or her vehicle after having a couple beers, cocktails, or shots. The poor decision that person made to drive can and will change their own lives and potentially the lives of others. Now, not only is that person's life ruined, but their own family has to suffer the consequences of their actions. In today's world, there's no excuse for anyone to make the poor decision and get behind the wheel after they've been drinking. We all have cell phones. Okay? We can call a family member. We can call a friend. We can even call our parents. Okay? On those cell phones, we have different apps. For example, Uber or Lyft. There's thousands of sober drivers here in San Diego County alone, okay, that are willing to drive you to your destination for a minimal fee. What we as law enforcement are asking is for you to make those good decisions. Designate a sober driver for the night. Be the person who steps up and takes care of your friends, your family, or somebody you just may have met. Don't be that person who sits back and lets your friends get into a car with somebody who's been drinking and driving. I was a teacher for 9 years before becoming a police officer. Okay? I taught middle school and high school kids just like you. Okay? I know what goes on at high school parties. Okay? I know somehow, some way, alcohol always makes it to these parties. As a parent and also as law enforcement, we don't condone that. What we as law enforcement and as parents want you to do is to make the right decision. Make the right decision to not get into a car with someone you know who has been drinking. Make the right decision to not let other people get into their car and drive after they've been drinking. I'm a parent of 3 kids. I have a 24-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 12-year-old. Okay? While my 24-year-old was in high school, obviously she went to her fair share of parties. Obviously, I told her, don't drink and drive. But I also told her, if you make that poor decision or that wrong decision to have a drink or 2, be smart, call somebody. Call a family member. Call a friend. I also told her, if all else fails, call me. I'll be happy that you made that right decision, that you called me, and there won't be any consequences behind it. Those are the type of decisions that we want you, Helix High School students, to make. We as law enforcement want you to use the Uber app, the Lyft app. Call a sober friend. If that doesn't work, last resort, call your parents. They will appreciate you for giving them the call, keeping yourself safe, and getting yourself safe home. Okay. You students, you guys and girls, are the future of this nation. You'll have to make decisions in your life that are extremely hard, but that's what leaders do. Be that leader in your life. Please, please make good decisions, because the decisions you make throughout your life will affect you and everyone around you. Thank you.
The Trauma Medical Director at Scripps Mercy Hospital, Dr. Michael Seiss.
Thanks for the honor of being with you. I have a great deal of respect for all of you. My son, who's now in his early 30s, played some sports against you, got his butt kicked by your teams. You have a proud tradition. You know, your parents, the judge, the officers, and I, we're the present and the past. You truly are the future. And we're here out of respect to you. We're not here to scare you. We're not here to lecture you. We're here to show you what it's really like. This is not even really as bad as it is when it really happens. I literally had to catch my breath walking down the hall to tell a dad that his son was dead. I had to stop at the door because it's so hard to really do this. those tears were real. The tears with your classmates today are real. Can you imagine your classmate who had to lie in a coffin? Or have a dad hug him because of the not reality but possibility that this could happen? This stuff is real. We're showing you one possible future that you don't have to have. We're here because you're the future. Because among you are the NFL stars of the future. Among you may be the next Beyonce, Taylor Swift, star of the sequel to Rogue One, another colleague for the judge, member of my team, a trauma nurse or doctor. That's why we're here. But for each of you, the sooner you realize that alcohol is a thief that always takes more than it gives, the better that future is. You know, I had a friend whose son, unfortunately, had a DUI. Great guy, very accomplished, college graduate. He was the top candidate for this job. And he almost didn't get it because of that DUI. It's more than just hurting yourself. It's ruining your future. That scholarship, he wouldn't have that scholarship if he had a DUI. Arizona wouldn't take him. A lot of colleges won't even look at your application. I lose my license to practice if I drink and drive, and I may never get it back. So, out of respect to you, because of what you represent to us, please make the right decisions. You know, I lost a brother, very close to him, and all I have left are the pictures. Can you imagine if one of your classmates is killed or injured because of drinking and driving, and mom and dad and friends only have those pictures, those great pictures we saw of your classmates? I dream of my brother every week at least, and it's been over 25 years. So I want you to be that future. I want you to write the next great movie, star in it, go to school, run a business, become an NFL star. I want you to have that future. And I want you to think the next time that drinking is a possibility, to remember that alcohol is a thief. The better you feel, the more it's taken if you drink. You know, it was a great simulation in the movie of what it looks like when a couple of guys drink. They look pretty stupid. And they made stupid decisions. So tomorrow night, next week, for the rest of your life, please remember that those choices are so important. Please remember how important you are to us. Please respect yourself and each other to make the right decisions. And thank you for the honor of joining you.
From the El Cajon Superior Court, the Honorable Judge Robert Amador.
I want to thank you for having me here this morning. Getting out of court is a great thing, but actually I have mixed feelings when I come here because the emotions are truly overwhelming. Some of you, when you saw what was going on, when you saw the pictures, it took a while before you truly understand that those people who are here up in front of you are dead. This court has too many cases that come before it where people are dead. There are evil people in this world. I watched when John Gardner got brought in and was 10 feet away from him when I was working as a DA at the Sheriff's Department, an evil person. And we often think of those who commit crimes or cause the deaths as evil people. But what happens is that all too often, people are people They make stupid mistakes, they make poor decisions, and as a result, somebody dies. And that's what happens in a DUI when somebody dies. It's the equivalent of someone getting in that car and it's like loading a gun, pointing it at a crowd, and firing. You never know if someone's going to get hit or hurt or killed. And that's what happens anytime you get behind the wheel when you've been drinking and you drive. In any DUI case that you're arrested, you're going to go to jail. You'll be able to bail out. Your parents will bail you out. But as anyone under 21, you've lost your license and you're not getting it until you're 21 years old. Enjoy the bus, because that's what you're going to be riding for the next few years. You're going to go in and you're going to plead not guilty. Eventually you'll plead guilty. 99% of DUI cases, they plead guilty. And it's going to cost you around $2,700 for a fine. If your family gets a lawyer, it's going to cost you $5,000 for a lawyer. And the additional money for insurance is between $5,000 and $10,000 for the next few years. That's $20,000. As the police officer said, how many Uber or Lyfts is that? It's an expensive decision, and it's a decision that you make. If you injure or kill somebody, you're going to jail. And the bail is now $250,000 to $1 million, and you're not getting out. And I don't think there's a single person who will ever forget the smell, the sound, and the fear when they go to jail. It is a terrifying experience for people to go to. And you're going to go to court, you're going to come into a courtroom, you're going to have a preliminary hearing, and you're going to be in jail. And your parents are going to be sitting there, and they're going to be ashamed. They're going to be humiliated. And everything that you did in your life that was positive is suddenly gone. Because what happens is you're a murderer. It's not legally a murder, but that's what everyone thinks. And you're going to come in front of a judge, and that scene where the parents talked, that's what it's like. The emotion that you saw is a small part of the emotion that they feel. It can be your best friend, and you think the parents, they'll forgive you. They may say they forgive you, but they'll never forget the loss of their child. They'll never forget their birthday and their death day. Their entire life is devastated. And you aren't the center of the attention. You're the defendant, you're going to get sentenced, and you're going to go to prison if something like that happens. And that's pretty much every judge in San Diego County or any place else you're going to be. I'd like to invite you to come to my court sometime when you're out of custody, when you have a day to look at civics, to see what happens, to see at where people get to exercise their constitutional rights. But on the other hand, don't come in one of these cases. It's too hard for you. It's too hard for your family. So on behalf of the Superior Court and myself, please learn a lesson from this. We have plenty of work. We don't need any more, and we don't need you to ruin your lives or the lives of others. Thank you for having me here today.
A survivor, Mr. Larry McNamer.
Good morning, everybody. We're going to get real now. On a wonderful July 31st afternoon, it was a pretty hot day. Leaving my home, was going to be gone for 25 or 30 minutes, had some errands I needed to take care of, and as I was getting in my vehicle, I noticed my 15-year-old son, Sean, his 15-year-old friend, Tyler. They crossed in front of my truck, and I yelled out the window, "Be back in a few minutes." "Okay, Dad." And he nodded and winked. My wife and I, having had 4 boys, we had always tried to find different ways with each one of them that they would feel they had something special going on. And with Sean, it was a nod and a wink. Well, I left. 25 minutes later, as I'm approaching the intersection from our home, I drove upon the intersection from hell. And as I came over the little ridge going down to that intersection, I could immediately see fire trucks, ambulance, highway patrol, sheriffs, people standing on all 4 corners. And as I got into that left-hand turn lane, there was a yellow body blanket covering a body about 150 feet in front of me in the middle of the road. Now I'm sitting there looking at that body, kind of looking around, watching all the first responders. They're trying to get the road shut off. They were still working on that. And while I'm viewing all this and kind of thinking to myself, what in the world happened here? I started hearing a voice directly off to my left, and I looked over, and it was my next-door neighbor who was standing on the sidewalk yelling for her. She was kind of jumping up and down, yelling, "Larry, hurry up, get over here, come on, hurry up." Well, now I'm looking at her, this body, the light. When the light turned, I pulled over to where she was. She leaned her head in the window, and she said, "Larry, it's Sean. He's been hit by a car, and he's dead." I jumped out of my truck, took off running towards that body in the road. My first thought was I had to get over there and pick him up and hold him. Let him know that Dad's here. Everything's going to be okay. Just hold on. And while running towards that body, I started hearing a voice in my head telling me to stop. Stop! But I kept running through that. I made the turn around the last fire truck to go out into the road. And I was quickly stopped by my next door neighbor's husband, who was on the fire department, on duty that day and on this call. This guy came out of nowhere, grabbed me, turned me around, started to take me back over to the truck. My next door neighbor was everything that you would ever picture a fireman to be. Just a big burly guy with a big voice, and you would always picture him just running into anything that ever happened. But when he put his arm around me and started to take me back over to the truck, it turned into a very surreal moment for me, because he was whispering very quietly in my ear, telling me that there was nothing I needed to see or do, that right now the best thing would be to go on up to the house. Somebody would be up later and give us the details of what's happened. And as we got over to the truck, he motioned and said, why don't you grab your 2 boys? And I looked up and saw my 2 younger sons standing on the opposite corner. I kind of motioned for him, said, "Come on." One of the scenes of this night that I will never forget, as I was putting the boys in the truck, there is a frontage road that runs alongside the main roadway where this crash occurred. And on that frontage road was a fire truck. Back bumper was a couple of firemen sitting with their heads down in their hands. We just happened to look up at each other at the same time, and I had never seen a more devastated look on anybody's face as I did those firemen that night. They were there to save lives, and there was nothing they could do. You could just see it in their face. Well, I remember nodding at them. They nodded back. I put the boys in the truck. We drove up to the house. We lived 4 houses up from the intersection where this happened. And while I was pulling in my driveway, I'm starting to run down this list of all the people I need to get inside and start calling right away. So I got out of my truck, made the turn to go into my home, and I looked up and saw my next door neighbor's daughter is now standing in the doorway of our home. And I looked up at her, and I remember just blurting out that I've got to call my wife. She said, "Larry, your wife has already been called, and there's somebody on their way to pick her up." I later learned that there were 2 phone calls made to my wife by Sean's younger brother, Nick. First phone call went something to the effect of, "Mom, Sean's been hit by a car, and they're taking him to the hospital." My wife said, "Will you go back down there, you find out where they're taking him, come back and call me right away so I can get over there." A couple of minutes later, the second phone call went something to the effect of, "Mom, Sean is..." And he broke down crying. Next door neighbor's daughter had to take the phone, let my wife know that our son was dead. My wife was working about 20 minutes away in a retail store, and in these retail stores, they kind of have these little back office places where you can go in and count money, make phone calls, do ordering, that kind of stuff, but they always keep the doors on these offices closed and locked so nobody can sneak up on you and do whatever they're going to do. But she was in that office, and when she heard that our son was dead, she lost it. Started screaming. Everybody in that store all the way up to the front could hear her screaming, and 2 of the workers took off running towards the back, and when they got to that office door, reaching for the handle, realizing that the door was locked, and the key was on a band around my wife's wrist inside. I later learned that they said they spent about 10 minutes trying to get her to calm down, and they just kept saying, "Please, please open the door so we can help you." In reality, all they needed to do, or she needed to do, was put her hand behind her and open the door. That's how close she was to it. Now, by this time, the first phone call that I actually made was to the pastor of our church. He lived pretty close. He was there within, a couple minutes, and when he got there, I said, could you please do me a favor? Could you go down to the intersection and see if they've taken Sean's body out of the road? I didn't want my wife coming through and seeing our son still laying in the road. He'd go down, he'd come back up, "No, Larry," and then I'd send him back down. He'd come back. This went on for a little while. Finally, he came back up and said, "Larry, I talked to one of the officers down there, and they can't touch the body until the coroner gets there." Unfortunately, that evening, the coroner was really busy, unable to get there in an expedient amount of time. So as my wife came through, there's our son still laying in the road. Behind her was our oldest son being brought home by a friend. I remember standing in the front yard as they both pulled up, and it was my son's face that caught my attention. And he was looking at me with the strangest look. It was like he was looking through me, not at me. And I watched him get out of the car. He took a couple of steps towards me in the front lawn there and just collapsed. Now, according to the police report, this happened at 7:08 in the evening. It wasn't till 9:10, 9:15 that the coroner was finally able to make it out there, do their investigation. And while sitting in my living room, somebody came in and got me and said, "Larry, we think the coroner just pulled up out front." Okay, so I got up, I went to the door, introduced myself, brought her in. She sat down, the immediate family gathered around her. Keep in mind that at this point in time, I was only understanding about every third or fourth word that was being said to me. We had lived at this location for a number of years. We knew everybody, everybody knew us. But when she began talking, I remember raising my head up and looking around. And my house, the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, entryway, hallway, was suddenly packed with people, and I didn't recognize anybody's face. I don't know where they came from or how they all got in my home so quick. But you could tell that they were all kind of leaning in, trying to listen to what the coroner had to say, but she was talking really quiet as to just be talking to the immediate family. Went into the procedures of, kind of how the morgue and the funeral home work together, the paperwork that would have to be signed, that kind of stuff. Reaching down beside her, grabbing a clipboard, putting it up on her lap, and she looked over at me and she said, "Mr. McNamer, have you given any thought to organ donation?" Now that question caught me totally off guard. And my first thought was, why would you be asking me that? And then it was like somebody smacked me upside the head. I suddenly realized she was asking me to donate my son's organs. Well, I kind of shook it off a little bit, and I nodded, and I looked at my wife. She nodded back and said, "Okay, well, whatever we have to do, let's go ahead and get it done." She said, "I'm sorry to have to inform you, but the only organs that would be worth harvesting from your son will be his eyes. Because when you're hit from behind by a vehicle that's doing 55 miles an hour, there's not much left of you." Now, it was also at this point that we learned of a second death, and that second, now wait, I had only seen one body. Who was the other person? It was Sean's friend Tyler. They were both walking back from 7-Eleven when the vehicle jumped the curb and hit him. But in Tyler, they had detected a small faint pulse and put Tyler into an ambulance and were rushing him over to where Life Flight was sitting, waiting. They felt it was quicker to do that than to get the helicopter in the air and let it, hover a little bit, find a landing zone, and they just said, "Get him over there." So by the time they got there, though, the flight nurse, they pronounced him dead and said, for all intents and purposes, the boys were killed instantly. And I got to tell you that when you hear somebody say that they were killed instantly, that they felt no pain, I've always wondered, really? Did he feel nothing? Was he dead instantly? I've always had that thought in my mind. The first photo I have for you is the vehicle. This is the vehicle that hit the boys. An old Chevy Impala. You can see where the damage is to the center of the vehicle. And the picture really doesn't show you everything. It doesn't show you the windshield that was blown out, roof of the car where the boys went over. People who were driving by at the time and witnessed this, they said it looked like a couple of rag dolls just got tossed up into the air. Next photo, this is Sean. He was a good-sized kid for 15 and a half. And we learned very quickly that you had to throw in the half with him. But he was starting to bulk out, good-sized kid, starting to work out. He absolutely loved sports. And to take it one step further, he was an absolute hockey nut. He wanted to play professional hockey when he got older. The next photo is him sitting here with two things that he really did love in life. The one there is his girlfriend, Chrissy. These two were inseparable. They could finish each other's sentences. It was uncanny at how good they were at it. The next is that double big gulp Dr. Pepper that you see in his hands. We never saw him without one. And that night, him and Tyler were on their way back from 7-Eleven with one of those in their hands. We know it because they were found laying in the roadway next to where the boys landed. Now this happened on a Saturday night. It was Sunday morning, 7 a.m. I heard the doorbell ring. None of us had really slept at all through the night, but I kind of crawled out of the bed and went and looked behind the curtain, and my front yard was full of local news media. This was a pretty highly publicized case when it happened, and it hit the neighborhood really hard. But the media wanted interviews with my wife and I, and so we got dressed, we went out, we did our interviews, and they were all asking for pictures that they could use on the evening news. And my wife said, okay, well, give us a minute, we'll go inside and see if we can find some for you. And after we had gone back inside, she had pulled a box down off the shelf and was kind of thumbing through it. And she looked up at me at one point and she said, Sean didn't like to have his picture taken. He was great at hiding behind something or somebody whenever he saw the lens of a camera. The older he got, the better he got at it. And the two photos here, these were taken about, 6 months before the funeral, before he was killed. And we didn't know they existed until about 6 or 7 weeks after the funeral. Don't make the mistake I did, parents, thinking that you have enough pictures of your kids. It's what I wouldn't give to have more. The last photo that I have of my son is one that I would certainly hope that none of you ever have to wake up in the middle of the night with this photo. Maybe just be driving down the road, the image of this thing. It's this photo right here. That's my son under there. That's what I drove up on. That's what I wanted more than anything, to get over and pick up and hold and let him know that everything was going to be okay. Dad's here now. Just hold on. But I never got that chance. In this photo, left-hand side, you can see a license plate. Part and parcel to the highway patrol finding that license plate laying in the road, they were able to find the person that did this 6 hours later, sobbing uncontrollably, drinking a beer in their apartment. Now, this is a part of the story that I don't normally tell, but the person that did this was a mother of 3. She was 27 years old. This was her third DUI, second DUI hit and run. And for anybody to say that she didn't know whether it was right or wrong, just absolutely doesn't have a clue. She knew it was wrong. I know she didn't get behind the wheel of that vehicle thinking, I'm leaving this party, I'm going to drive home right now, and I'm going to go kill 2 boys. That's not what she was thinking. But 7 minutes after leaving that park, knowing that what she was doing was wrong, 2 boys were dead. Folks, this is real. It seems like every other day. I'm afraid to go turn the TV on sometimes for fear that I'm going to see that it's happened again. This is real. And we're all here today to hopefully drive that point home, no pun intended. We want you to live a happy life. Life is meant to be enjoyed, but it's meant to do it responsibly. The day I put my son in the ground, I leaned over his casket and I made a promise to him that I would do everything I could to keep this from ever happening again. That was 23 years ago. And I'm still doing it. That in itself shows you that it's just not stopping. Has it gotten better? Yeah. Hence the name of the program, every 15 minutes, but now we're kind of up to every 52, 53 minutes. But that's still way too much. I'm begging you, keep me from ever having to make this speech again. Let's put a stop to this. We could do it right here, right now. It's 100% preventable. We don't need a pill for this. We just need people to think. Please, be safe. Thank you for allowing us. Please don't drink and drive. Thank you.
Mother of Caitlin Keys, Ms. Savon McNair.
This is the saddest day of my life. I never thought that I would be burying my daughter, Caitlin Keys. For the parents out there that didn't get a chance to hug or to say goodbye or give a good night kiss, please take the time to do that sometime today. I wrote a letter to my daughter, and I regret a lot of things that I didn't let her know. And I'm going to share it with you. When I got the news of your death, memories of you began to slip away as I tried to grasp the feelings that ran quickly through my mind. At that moment, I realized you were gone forever. Instantly, I realized how precious you were to me. I looked deep inside myself to see where I erred. So many times you wanted my attention, but I was just too busy. Too busy to show you how important you were to me. Too busy to laugh and play with you during your formative years. Too busy to hold you, to relieve your fears at those most important times. Too busy to compliment you for all your hard work. Why did it take so long? And why did it take me to have to lose you for me to tell you how much you mean to me now that you cannot hear me? How selfish of me to think you should have waited till I got around to giving you time to show my love for you. How dare I tell you how ungrateful you were when you were only wanting my time, my assurance, my approval, and my love. No more excuses. No more apologies. I've wasted precious moments that I will never be able to retrieve. You were here, now you're gone. Forever. For a brief moment, I hope for your return. Not for a chance to prove my love, but a chance to give it. Our hearts will continue to beat as one. I love you, Caitlin. I'll miss you forever. And for parents that don't have the time, for parents that are too busy with their jobs, take the time. For this loss was great, and it was devastating, and it helped me to really appreciate that I have another chance. And we all have another chance, and may we take it and enjoy it. Thank you.
A student participant, Matthew Goldman.
Dear Matthew, yesterday I died. Today I am dead. Yesterday I was Matthew. Today I am no longer Matthew. I titled this, I Love You, because if I were to have actually died, what would have gone unsaid? Who did I forget to say, I love you to? Who do I wish I said, I love you to, just one more time? Now here I'm sure you want me to tell you, I forgot to say, I love my mom, or my friends, or my family. Don't get me wrong, I do love my mom, my friends, and my family. But that is not what I forgot to say I love you to. I forgot to say, I love you too, to the last tennis ball I ever hit. I forgot to say, I love you too, the last math quiz I took. It was a challenge, but I was able to think, something I can no longer do. I cannot look through my glasses anymore. I can no longer see the future. I cannot see the past. I cannot see the present. I can only see what I forgot to do. Yesterday, I died. Today, I am dead. Yesterday, I was Matthew. I am no longer Matthew today. I sat in math. I sat in English. In English, I remember one of my friends kept saying, Goldman, I love you, or Goldman, I miss you. During that one period, just 90 minutes long, she said those two phrases a total of 9 times. 9 times in just 90 minutes. Imagine how many times in 9 days, 9 months, or 9 years. I hate myself, though, as I forgot to say, I love you, just one more time to those live talks with those amazing friends. What else did I forget to say? I love you. I forgot to say I love you to the blue slushies from the doghouse, the ASB birthday cards, Miss Michelle screaming, hi Matthew. And I forgot to say I love you to Dr. Goldman. To be honest, I don't love any of those tangible items, but I do love the consistency it puts in my life. I forgot to say I love you to the normalcy of life, and that is something that if I was actually dead, I could never say again.
Student participants, Carson Baker and Mugen Blue.
So in conclusion, Mugen and I would like to say something.
The last 2 days, you have witnessed a staged and very well organized event.
But every 15 minutes is very real.
Real life events, just like this one, happen every 15 minutes.
And as we have seen for ourselves, even this year, these events can affect our community, our school, and our friends.
You need to make the decision right now. If you wait until the time comes, you will be too late. We make the promise and commitment to our friends, our family, and our community.
We promise that we will never drink and drive.
We will also make the promise to never get into a car with a driver who has been drinking.
And to you, our fellow students, we ask you to please make the same promise to yourself, your friends, and your family to never drink and drive.
If you are willing to make that promise, please stand with us right now. Thank you.
Someone is injured or killed in an alcohol-related incident every 15 minutes. There are no second chances to make the right decision. Think before you drink, and please do not drink and drive. You are dismissed.
Step one, you say we need to talk. He walks, you say sit down, it's just talk. He smiles politely back at you. You stare politely right on through some sort of window to your right. As he goes left and you stay right between the lines. Fear and blame, you begin to wonder why you came. Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the bitterness that I put out straight up. All night, and I know how to save a life. Let him know that you know best, 'cause after all you do know best. Try to slip past his defense without granting innocence. Lay down a list of what is wrong, the things you told him all along. Pray to God he hears you, and pray to God he hears you. And where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the bitterness that I put out straight up with you all night. And I know how to save a life. As he begins to raise his voice, you lower yours and grant him one last choice. Drive until you lose the road, a break with the ones you follow.